Welcome to Academic Game Tutorials. In this video, we are going to generate the detailed concept about the classification of materials, including the unit and bulk materials, the unit load concept, unit load design, and the criterions for selecting unit load size for in-process handling. This video is the second class of our course on materials handling and maintenance engineering. We will cover all related topics one by one. Before starting, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, just click on subscribe and press the bell icon. Here, we come up with new videos on different subjects to make the academic studies easier for you. So, into the topic. The term material in materials handling can be any substance from which a product is assembled or packaged for further processing or sale. Or, it is any item that is assembled, packaged, and distributed for further use. So, materials can be classified into two main types or categories, the unit materials and the bulk materials. Units materials are separate, discrete items, ranging in size from nuts and bolts to pallet loads of bags, car bodies, airplane wings. They are characterized by the fact that they can be distinguished as separate entities. Common examples of unit handling include automotive assembly lines, order picking in warehouses, can conveying in food plants, and stacking materials in storage racks with lift trucks. The bulk materials, on the other hand, are stored and handled in volume, often in unpackaged form. Examples include dry powders, granules, flakes and resins, coal, fertilizer, sulfur, and salt are other common types. Bulk materials handling is characterized by continuous flow operations, involving materials in an aggregate form. In many cases, the bulk materials assume flow characteristics similar to those of fluids. Elements of a typical bulk materials handling system are bins, silos, or hoppers for storing the material, discharge devices or feeders, conveyors, and flow aid devices when needed. Common elements of a unit handling system include lift trucks, conveyors, storage racks and overhead cranes and hoists, etc. The unit load concept. A unit load is either a single unit of an item, or multiple units so arranged or restricted that they can be handled as a single unit and maintain their integrity. Let's look at the advantages of unit loads. More items can be handled at the same time, thereby reducing the number of trips required and, potentially, reducing handling costs, loading and unloading times, and product damage. And enables the use of standardized material handling equipment. So, what are the disadvantages of unit loads? Time spent forming and breaking down the unit load. Cost of containers, pallets and other load-restraining materials used in the unit load. And empty containers, pallets may need to be returned to their point of origin. Now let's discuss about unit load design. Unit loads can be used both for in-process handling and for distribution, receiving, storing, and shipping. Unit load design involves determining the type, size, weight, and configuration of the load, equipment and method used to handle the load, methods of forming, or building, and breaking down the load. Now, let's look at the criterions taken in consideration for selecting unit load size for in-process handling. Unit loads should not be larger than the production batch size of parts in process. If the unit load size is larger, then a delay would occur if the load is forced to wait until the next batch of the part is scheduled to start production, which might be days or weeks, before it can be transported. Large production batches, used to increase the utilization of bottleneck operations, can be split into smaller transfer batches for handling purposes, where each transfer batches contains one or more unit loads, and small unit loads can be combined into a larger transfer batch to allow more efficient transport. For example, several cartons at a time can be transported on a hand truck, although each carton is itself a unit load and could be transported separately. Thus, the size of the single part should be less than or equal to the unit load size, the unit load size should be less than or equal to the transfer batch size, and the transfer batch size should be less than or equal to the production batch size. When parts are transferred between adjacent operations, the unit load may be a single part. When operations are not adjacent, then, for short distance moves, we have to allot smaller unit load sizes. And for long distance moves, we have to allot larger unit load sizes. The practical size of a unit load, as explained earlier in the unit load principle, may be limited by the equipment and aisle space available and the need for safe material handling, in accord with the safety principle. So, we have learnt about the classification of materials, including the unit and bulk materials, the unit load concept, unit load design, and the criterions for selecting unit load size for in-process handling, in details. In the next video, we will discuss in details about factors of selection of material handling equipment. Thank you.